Yo, what's good? What's good? Today is April 4th, 2024, and I've been eating nothing but grapes for 19 days. I wanted to talk about addiction and how to beat addiction. Addiction begins with a thought. At the root of all addiction is just one single thought. And when we give energy, attention, to that thought, it grows, it multiplies, you make it bigger. That one thought can become two thoughts. That one thought can stay on your mind. And the more that thought is there, the more energy and attention that you're giving to it. And the more it grows, the bigger it gets. You giving all that energy and attention to a thought will manifest into physical actions. And so this is something that I noticed with me in my journey. And, I do this a lot. Like, you have to learn how to win this battle up here in order to overcome addiction. And what you have to learn how to do is at the instant you have a thought contrary to what you want to do, remove your energy and attention from it. That's the fight. That's the battle. That's the war. That's what determines whether you win or lose. The instant I have a thought contrary to what I'm doing, to what I want to do, I immediately pull my energy away from it. I pull my attention away from it. If you can be successful in doing that, you will kill that thought, and it will never become a temptation. It will never become a craving. It will never become a desire. It will die. Every day on this fruit journey, I do this, and I'm doing it even more on these grapes. There's a lot of places when I drive by that I can't even look at because they're places that I used to eat at. And just looking at the place will stir up memories that feel good. See, when the thought first appears, if you shut it down fast enough, if you pull your energy and attention away from it fast enough, it will never produce a feeling. It's easy to deal with when you catch it like that. But if you think on something long enough, and it doesn't have to be long at all, then you're gonna notice feelings attached to those thoughts. And now you're not only dealing with the thought, but you're dealing with the feeling. And it feels good. This is where addiction starts. The addiction to feeling good, the addiction to feeling better begins here. Because what we do is we'll have a thought contrary to what we're doing, and we'll think about it. We'll give energy and attention to it. And you don't have to do that for long at all. If you give your energy and attention to a thought for 5 seconds or less, it will start producing feelings. And it's these feelings that we become addicted to because it feels good. If I was to think about some of the shit that I used to eat, it would still produce feel good feelings inside of me. And it's hard to deal with those feelings. It's much easier to just deal with the thought before it produces feelings. But once it starts producing feelings, that produces attachment. The first place we chase pleasure is not through the things we eat or the addictions that we have, the drugs that we eat or smoke or sniff or shoot up or whatever. The first place we chase pleasure is here. You have to learn how to stop chasing pleasure up here. You have to learn how to not be addicted to pleasure up here. The reason I was able to eat nothing but watermelon last year for 160 days, and the reason that I'm able to eat nothing but grapes for 19 days as of today is because I'm successful up here. When you're successful up here in your inner world, you're going to be successful in your outer world. And this is where it starts. Learning how to control where you allow your energy to go. Learning how to control what you give your attention to. Meaning you're not giving energy or attention to anything that you don't want more of in your life. If you don't want that thought producing in your life, You don't give it any energy. You don't give it any attention. And it's best if you can do that right away before that thought can produce feelings. You can still do it after. You know, if you slip up, like, oh shit. Sometimes you could think about shit and you don't even realize you're thinking about it. You could still get a handle of the situation, but it's gonna be harder once it produces feelings because there's attachment there. You start fucking thinking about memories. You start thinking about all the good times you had there with family and friends, all the good times you had eating that bullshit with family and friends, and all the laughs and all the fun and all the joy and all these different things. If you start thinking about that shit, it's going to be a lot harder to say no to it. You got to learn to say no to it right there as soon as you fucking notice it. Cut it off. Shut it down. Abandon ship. Pull your energy and attention out of it. That's where these battles and these wars are won. That's where these addictions are defeated. We think we're addicted to what we're eating. And there is an addiction because most of us are not even eating food. We're eating drugs. You can shoot drugs. You can drink drugs. You can snort drugs. You can smoke drugs. And you can eat drugs. And most of us are just eating and drinking drugs. So yes, there is an addiction to those unnatural things. But the addiction begins up here because what happens is you have a thought and you give that thought attention, and your energy expressed through your attention causes that thought to grow. And as that thought grows, it produces pleasure inside of you. It feels good. And that's what you're chasing. And it feels so good, and you chase that until you've topped out. But that's not good enough. You want to feel even better. So now that thing you was thinking about eating, you're going to get. And, you know, I fucking apologize for the fucking lighting. I noticed it going in and out. But that was still good, despite the lighting. Fuck the lighting. What I just said was good as fuck, and it could help you a lot. This is something I use daily. This is how I'm able to stay on this path that I'm on, especially in this world where I'm one of very, very few people really walking this path, really living this life. To eat fruit is effortless. The effort is required up here. When you have that thought and you know it will feel good to think on that thought, and you have the self-control to say, nope, I'm not going to think about it. And you pull your energy and your attention away from it and you direct it somewhere else. You think about something else. You search for something else to think about until you find it. And then you keep your energy and your attention there. And eventually that other thought will just die. That's how I go. I just gave you the game. I just gave you the play. I just taught you how to do it. And I ain't charge you a penny.